Okay, I think we can start. We have almost 40 people so far in today's info day about TargetX. My name is Aneta Gamonska and I'm representing Funding Box. And today I will talk about the project TargetX and the information how to submit your application and what in general is TargetX. So just a moment. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so this info day is about the TargetX. TargetX is a project of the European Commission funded from the Horizon Europe program. This is coordinated by FRAUNHOFER, and we have 14 consortium partners from 6 countries. The general vision of the TargetX is to strengthen economic sectors in Europe by integrating 5G and 6G and accelerating the digital transformation. So the main information which are needed for application is who are we looking for. So we are looking only for SMEs, either individual entities, so one SME, or micro consortium composed of 2 SMEs. And what is important, your company needs to be registered prior to the launch of the TargetX first open call, which we launched the 9th of May 2023. So if you have the company registered after the 9th of May, then you are not eligible for this funding. Who are we looking for? We're looking for these SMEs from main 4 sectors: manufacturing, energy, automotive, and construction. And we prepared the 48 topics in which you can apply to. So we have the topics, some kind of challenges, and we are looking for somebody who will come with the solution to those topics, to those challenges. So what actually do we offer as a support? First of all, funding, which is 60,000, approximately 50 entities in the 7-month support program. So we don't know actually how many projects we will fund, because it depends if we will receive application from individual entity or micro consortium. So if we receive, I don't know, 50 individual entity, then we can fund 50 projects. But if we receive more micro consortia, then we can fund less projects. So it depends how many SMEs you have in your consortia, then it affects how many projects we can fund in the first open call. You need to start from the TRL 3-4, which is preferred. But of course, if you have like TRL 2 or 5, do not hesitate also to apply to the first open call. You need to achieve TRL 7 during the whole support program. So 3-4 is preferred, but if you have any other, you can always try, and evaluators will assess your possibility to get the funding. The very important thing is that if you are for-profit company, we can grant the maximum amount of 70% of the eligible cost, but it doesn't mean that we will give you less than 60,000 euro, but in your application, you have to, in the special box, explain us your cost. And the 60K must be 70% of the cost you need to make this project. So what we discussed is that we need individual legal entity or micro consortium of 2 SMEs. And one entity, if you have the consortium, one entity will act as a technology provider, and the second one as an end user, or both entities can act as the end users. The next eligibility criteria, also very important, is that your entity has to be established in in any of the member states of the European Union or associated countries to Horizon Europe. For that moment, the United Kingdom is not eligible. So maybe in the next open call it will be eligible, but now United Kingdom is not eligible. In a few seconds, I will show you our documents and our system. But what is important when you apply to the open call? First of all, you have to be on time. So our deadline will be 26th of July at 5 p.m. And it's really important that you are not waiting until the last moment because everything can happen. You can have some technical problems. And after 5 p.m., we don't allow anybody to submit the proposal. The proposal needs to be written in English language, and all the sections must be filled in. So every question deserves your attention. So you cannot just say that it's not about your project and go further. If it's not about your project, please explain. It has to have European dimension. And if, of course, we are assessing the absence of conflict of interest case by case, but the general rules are explained in the documents. And later on, when you are allowed to go to the support program, then we will check other criteria like the limit on the FSTP, if there is no double funding for the same project, and if your finances are healthy. Okay. You will receive the lump sum of 60,000 euro. In the first stage, when you just write the individual mentoring plan with your mentors at the beginning of the support program, you will receive up to 5,000 euro. Later, in the middle of the support program, in the deliverable is the project development report, you will receive next 35,000 euro, and at the end 20,000 euro. Maximum. So up to, please remember that we can also apply the delayed payment mechanism, which is normally around 10-15%. What does it mean that we pay the lump sum? It means that we don't require to present us some documents to prove the cost incurred. So we don't need any invoices, but we just need deliverable approved by your evaluators and mentors. So if the deliverable and the work is done, we pay you for the work done. So of course, you have to keep the documentation for your company, but not for us. We will not check the documentation not related to the deliverable, of course, because for us, the most important is the deliverable and KPIs. Okay, so here you can see the topics, and by the topics, we meant, as I said before, kind of the challenges and which were selected for the first open call, and they are in the four main verticals, which I said before, and two additional verticals. This is our website, and if you go to the documents, you can check the guide for applicants, frequently asked questions, and topics description. Those are the most important documents before you apply to the open call, because in the guide for applicants, you can really find the most important information which are needed to submit your application. And topics description is important because you can apply only to one of these topics. So you must be very specific which topic you apply to, and the description why you apply to this topic, and how you can solve it. Here you can see the short description of the whole submission and evaluation of proposal. So when you submit the proposal, firstly, we will check this eligibility criteria. So if it is written in English, if this is from the eligible country, and so on and so on. Then our TargetX partners will quickly check if your application is in scope of the TargetX. So this is not very deep evaluation, but just checking if this is the scope of the TargetX project. Then we are going to external evaluation. So we have the external evaluators who will assess your proposal in terms of 3 criteria, which are excellence, impact, and implementation. I will show you later what is included in those criteria. And later, when the list of FSTP recipients is validated by the selection committee, we are going to formal check. So we are checking if your company is SME, and then we go to the FSTP agreement signature, and we are matching you with the mentor. Then you have your KPIs, deliverables. When you achieve this, we can pay you. And this is completion of the support program. This is our TargetX funding box website. So here you can apply to the open call. Here you can find the documents. Here is the main TargetX project website. So you can find not only information about the open call, but also about the general vision and other things related to the TargetX, so the events or anything. Help desk. So if you have any question, technical related to submission, anything, you can go to the help desk. This is our community, and you can ask the question. Of course, you can also use the email. Info day. Here you can find the information about the next info day, which will be more questions and answered. So if you're interested, after you read the documents, if you have more questions, we will also prepare the next webinar like this. And here our social media. Okay, so let's say you read the documents, you chose the topic, you are ready to submit your proposal. First, you have to sign up to the funding box, because only then you can submit your proposal. Deadline, as I said before, this is 26th of July 2023, and we are going to the button Apply Now. So you go to Apply Now, you start a new application. You can add a contributor. So if you don't want to write it alone, you can always ask somebody to support you. You can add as many people as you want. They can be on the same page at the same time. And here you've got the sections. Basic information. So this is just the basic info about your project. Legal information. Sorry, so here you can see asterisk. So if we have it, of course, this is mandatory to save. Most of the sections are mandatory. Legal information. So we needed to check your SMEs at the beginning, and then, of course, we ask for more information. Project, very basic information about your project. And section 4, excellence, is the first section, which is assessed by the evaluator. Here we checked the ambition, the innovation, and soundness of the approach of your project. In impact, we checked the market opportunity, competition, commercial strategy, and scalability, and environmental and social impact. In implementation, we check your team and resources to conduct the project. Statistical section is not mandatory, but of course we are happy if you fill it in, so then we can share the statistics with the European Commission. And some legal sections, ethics, self-assessment, declaration of honor, and processing of personal data with the GDPR clause. Here is our help desk and our IoT community. You can find not only TargetX, but also information about other similar projects. And here you can always ask the question. Help desk email is here. So we will share it with you later. And then okay, then one more thing, please check our social media here, because if we have the next info day session or question and answers or the next open call on or any other events, we share everything by social media. So it's really important if you join us, so you can be updated about everything. Okay, thank you very much. If you have any questions, we are always ready to help you. So this is my email. You can write me personally. You can use the general email. You can use the help desk. And now, please feel free to ask questions. You can just ask on the chat or raise your voice as you prefer. Okay, we can see some hands. Antonio, please check if those people...
Yes, I think it's Vincent. I think the floor is yours. You are ready to speak.
Oh, hello.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, I have simple two questions. The first one is, we already registered for funding box, but not registered specifically for TargetX. So do we need to, like before May 9th, we were supposed to do something additional to...
No. Registration, if we talk, you probably talk about the first...
Yeah, the first slide.
The first slide, yeah. So SMEs registered. Registered, it means that your company, your SME is registered as a company. We are not talking about funding box or something like that. Why do we do that? Because we don't want to that people create company just for the project to get the funding, but they really have the company.
Sure. Yeah, okay, it makes sense now. So the second question is, let's say we, for our project, we develop some test bed and we test our algorithms on our test beds, or do we have to use the partners' test beds for our results? Is it clear?
Okay, so maybe here I will ask our technical partners if they can help you with that question.
Okay.
I think that we have Niels.
Okay, so Vincent, your mic is open. You can talk now. Vincent, can you hear us?
Yeah, but now, Niels, if you can answer this question, I don't know if you can help us.
Okay. Yeah, I will send an email then.
Yeah, no problem. I think we can answer this question now, but please also send us email. I don't know if Niels can hear us. Niels is our coordinator, but I'm not sure.
Yes, he should be able to talk now.
Okay. Yeah, so I hope you can hear me now.
Yes.
So you're not enforced to use the test beds of the project, but nevertheless, you should make sure that there is a certain way of interaction. So there is also some way of mentoring possible. So we call it mentoring from the project consortium to support the open call projects. And you should make sure that your testbed is, let's say, state of the art. So not starting with 4G LTE testbed.
Yes, Niels, thank you so much. I got it. So it will be great for us to use their testbed as well to write joint articles maybe or something. That will be great. And we also have our own testbed for the same algorithms or results.
Yeah. If you have any questions regarding the equipment and the infrastructure we have in the project, then yeah, please feel free to contact us. There is a contact address on our TargetX website.
Sure. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And that's it. These are my questions. Thank you so much for the presentation.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you. So I think we can move on with Kostas. The floor is yours.
Yes, hello. I would like to ask you about the testing of 5G and the test bed, let's say, that you are mentioning. Does it include own network infrastructures? So let's say we need to have our own network or base stations, or we just access a commercial 5G or 6G network with our devices?
Niels, can you please answer this question?
Yeah. Yes, of course, it depends a little bit on what you intend to do in your project. So what we can offer is for certain trials within your open code project to use the infrastructure that we have in the project. So in Aachen, so we have the different test beds, but it's a private network. It's completely free GPP compliant. And we can provide SIM cards for the trial activities here on site. If you have some preparations that you do on your site, then you have to take care, to test your device, maybe also with the public network. But at the end, when it comes to performance, then we can use the private networks we have here.
In Aachen, you mentioned, is this private network? Is this 5G standalone?
It's 5G where we have both. Yeah, so we have NSA and SA.
So you have standalone. Okay.
Yes, and the other testbed location is in Spain. It's Idiada. That is a little bit more complicated because it's a commercial network. Provided from Orange. So but that only relates if you plan to have trials in the automotive sector, I would say.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, do we have any more questions?
Yes, the last raised hand is from Vincent. I don't know if you can hear us, but you are free to talk now. Vincent, can you hear us? Okay, so maybe you can type it in chat in case you're having any issues with the microphone, but we have Andras who has also raised the hand, so you should be able to talk now. Andras, can you hear us?
Hello?
Hello, we can hear you well. Thank you.
1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Hello?
Hello, Andras. We can hear you well. You are free to speak.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you, Andras. Can you hear us?
Now I can. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, sorry, some network issues then. My apologies. Thank you for the nice presentation and for the whole hosting. I would be interested, I also asked this in the question and answers, that will there be some application-specific experts or contact point to talk with? Like I checked the topics for automotive and they seem very specific actually. And it would be nice to talk with someone who who wrote them or oversees automotive specifically?
So we don't predict such meetings, but if you have any questions, please write it and we will send it to the person responsible for automotive. But such meetings we don't expect.
Even the direct contact will be very nice, just to, because some of the topics some of them are very well defined.
Questions, because on the basis of your questions, we can see whom we contact. So
Okay,
your questions first.
Yes, that's one of my questions, and the other is that there was mentions of the test track in Spain that would be for automotive, and then there is the commercial network there, the Orange. So we have to use our own SIM cards there, or what is the setup?
Niels, can you support us here?
I'm not sure if Jad is in the call as well, because he's the one responsible for this work package.
Yes, this is Jad. So for IDIADA testbed in Spain, this is operated by Orange. So the radio nodes, they are in IDIADA circuit, and you will get SIM cards from them. So they are specific for the testbed, and the core is just managed by IDIADA and Ericsson. So you'll have specific SIM cards from IDIADA.
Okay, and just to clarify the scope of the project, there has to be like a final demonstration where we show that we did what we promised, or is it like an ongoing testing, or how should we imagine that? Okay, I apply for topic 22, or I don't know. Then at what point do I have to be present in Spain with a car and some sensors? I guess at least one point at the end for the final milestone or something.
Yeah, so the idea is that you have this test bed in order to test your application or your hardware that you want to test there. So it's like a process where you start maybe from TRL 3.4, and then you can test it in the test bed until you get the final result. So this will be coordinated between you and the responsible of this test bed. So there will be a mentor from Target X that will help you in order to coordinate with IDIADA to access to their test bed.
Okay, so at one, of course, we would like to test there, but there is no like minimal requirements to be there like every week or every 2 weeks or something. But at one point we have to show that we reached level 7.
Yes, at the end there will be, you have to provide the KPIs that you will propose in your application, and then you have to show that in a demo, maybe recorded, or generate some data, and then you show it to the mentor and to the reviewer. But also you need to test in the test bed before that. So there is, the minimum is that you have to do at the end this demo and generate the results. But if you need to do also some tests, which could be also a good idea maybe for you, you can access to that.
Sure, it's just you know, we are in the Netherlands, so it's a bit harder to get there, but it's solvable. So okay, thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Now it's clearer.
Yeah, I just wanted to compliment on what Jad said, or to put it the other way around. So please do not expect that you will have access for 9 months non-stop of testing at the test track. So that will not be possible.
Yes, it would be very expensive.
You should limit it and really carefully plan the test runs where you need the track, in case you need a track. So that's a scarce resource, and of course it's clear that it's a commercial entity, and they also have the automotive industry test their on-site, and they have a tight schedule for that. Yeah. So
Thanks. Understood.
thanks.
Thank you so much. So now is the turn for Christophe. Can you hear us?
Yes, do you hear me?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Actually, I had quite the same kind of question as before. My question is related to the automotive test site in Idiada. I have two questions. In the testing condition, would we have access to a dedicated slice, typically an URLLC slice? And my second question is, would we have access to a kind of make feature or not?
Hello, this is Jad again. Aneta, maybe just one thing. We have Idiada here, so Mauro is in the call, and he might also help for specific thing about the test bed. Maybe you can give him also the right to speak. Just to answer your question, so for the first one, so about slicing, the network, it's a 5G NSA network, so we don't have slice, but the thing is that it's a private network, so we don't have calls from outside the circuit. So it's isolated network. We don't have some people outside the network that can connect to this network. So it's some kind of a network, private network.
Okay, it's a slice by itself.
Yeah, yeah. So we don't have SA, unfortunately, but yeah, it's a private network.
Okay.
And the second question, can you repeat it, please?
Yes, it was about MEC, multi-access edge computing. Do you have some kind of MEC facility or not at all?
So we will have a server connected to the core, as I said. So it's NSA network. So we will have a server that is connected to the core that will play the role of an edge, if you want, more
Yes,
than a
yes,
Mac.
yes. In this condition,
Yes.
Can mimic a MEC. Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Okay, so we can move on with Roberto. Hello, Roberto.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, perfectly. Thank you.
My question is about the application. Is there any benefit for consortiums over individual applications?
No. They are treated the same, and evaluators are not taken into account if this is individual or consortium. And also, I've seen on the chat very similar question. No, sorry, that micro consortia are more preferable than single entity. No, so also they are not more preferable. Please remember that you will receive 60K per entity. So if you apply as a micro consortium, then you will receive 120.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so I think we can move on to the written questions in the chat. The first one will be, will there be other calls for companies that were not registered before 9th of May?
Yeah, so I just explained that this is
Okay.
about registration as a company. Okay, Antonio, I will read the next question. So the next questions were about micro consortium or individual, if there is a difference. Who are the external evaluators? Is there a way to join this set of experts as in similar projects? So we're looking for the evaluators in our network. So if you have enough experience to be such evaluator, you can write us email with your LinkedIn, with your CV, and then we will have it in the pool of evaluators, and then we will let you know after that. I don't know who was writing this because this is anonymous, but feel free to write to us with your LinkedIn, with your CV, then we can contact you. Okay, the next one, when will be the results published? You mean the results of the open call or results of the project as Target X? It was a question by Hakan Duman. Okay, I'm not sure if...
Thank you very much. I want to take the information when will be the proposals related and the winners will be informed.
Yeah, so 26th of July, we have the end of the open call. Then we need to check if you're eligible, and then we need to check your out of scope. And please remember that unfortunately it will take place in August, which is in general a month of holidays. So it's really difficult to reach people to work at the same time. So that's why the whole August is planned for this basic check, and at the end of the August we will let you know about the result. If you open frequently asked questions at the page, let me check. At the page 11, you can see the whole calendar for all the phases. So what will happen when? So then you can check what is there. And also, maybe I will share my screen to show you the frequently asked questions. This is page 11. As I said before, here you can find the whole calendar. But the next question, which was in a chat, was about the eligible cost. And here, the question number 30, what costs will be eligible? So you can find the answer here. But in general, this is personal cost, subcontracting, purchase, other costs. And here you have all the requirements. What does it mean that they are eligible? And at the beginning of the program, you will write something like individual mentoring plan. And in this individual mentoring plan, we will ask you to present us your prediction about the cost. So how much you will spend for personal cost, for subcontracting, purchase cost, etc. And of course, if you're a micro consortium, with the division per entity and per each stage. But the question number 30 in the frequently asked questions, you have all information about eligible cost. Okay, I'm moving on with the questions. Are there any details about the reports that need to be provided after the experiments or any mandatory deliverables? No, at the moment, no. Of course, you have summary and scope of each topic, but you don't have specific deliverables there. You will contact your mentor when you are announced as the finalist. You will have your mentor, and together with your mentor, you will decide on the KPIs, on the deliverables, and that they will be in the same place as the prediction of the cost for your project. So in individual mentoring plan. But for that moment, we don't have details because it will be agreed individually with all the entities. Which are the 48 topics mentioned? I don't see it in the guide. This is not in the guide. This is the separate document. Maybe I will share my screen one more time. This is separate document because this document is really extensive. So when you have documents here, you have Annex 1, which is a topics description. If you go to the topics description, you've got the list of 48 topics, and each description looks very similar. So summary, scope, objectives, and sometimes we have description of the ideal candidate. But summary, scope, and objectives are everywhere. Okay. How many entities applied before the 9th of May? Nobody, because we opened we launched the open call the 9th of May. So it was the start of the open call, and now up to 26 entities can apply. So before it wasn't possible. I don't know, Vincent, if I answered your question. Okay, thank you. Okay, do we have any more questions? Kostas?
Yes, hi. I was my question was about the topics, but I think you answered that, you covered that. So I will look at this document to find more information. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Do we have any more questions? Okay, if we have no more questions, and if you come up with questions, I invite you to join the community of TargetX, to ask us by help desk, or to join the next Q&A session, which will be at the end of June, maybe beginning of July, so that you will be after reading all the documents and you can come up with more detailed questions, and we are happy to answer them all. Okay, so that is all for today. Thank you very much. Thank you, technical partners, for your support. Yeah, I invite you to apply, ask questions, and see you in the next phases of the TargetX.
Thank you.
Thank you. Goodbye.